Yesterday, a major update was released for CS2, and with it, the developers managed to break the game. This update introduced a huge number of bugs, thankfully. Today, a new update is being released, which is supposed to fix all of that, but spoiler alert, it doesn't. Still, there are a lot of changes. Today, I'll tell you how the game can simply prevent you from shooting because of a weapon bug, how the bomb becomes impossible to pick up even if it's right beneath your feet, and how it literally teleports halfway across the map. We'll talk about how the devs not only broke the game but somehow managed to improve a few things as well, how they tried to introduce new character model physics and surprise broke everything again, and much more. The video is going to be interesting, hit that like button and let's get started. As usual, we're starting with the changelog of this update. According to the devs, they fixed a bug where reloading helped you slightly speed up your shooting. This bug was actually shared with me yesterday by a viewer named Kukushka. It's that habit of switching weapons right after reloading, and with yesterday's update it actually reduced the delay before you could fire, but that's been fixed in today's patch. But Valve wouldn't be Valve if they didn't introduce a new problem with that fix. A Reddit user recorded a demonstration of a new bug after today's patch. Shooting becomes impossible after reloading even if you cancel the reload. I tested this in-game, check out the very short delay between shots if you just switch weapons without reloading. But if you start a reload and then cancel it, you won't be able to shoot until the animation finishes. The animation that you cancelled and which technically doesn't even play. You're forced to wait almost twice as long, which makes the game nearly unplayable. So most likely we'll get a third update tomorrow to fix the reload bug again. They also fixed an issue where air strafing gave you more speed than it should, leading to velocity values higher than the intended limits. You can check velocity using the +showPose command. If you didn't know, air strafing increases your base movement speed of 250 units per second, allowing you to slightly exceed that. That's how it's always worked, but after yesterday's update, this behavior was exaggerated. But if you were hoping this had anything to do with the broken bob after yesterday's update, nope, you still can't bob properly after today's patch either. Yeah, of course, as soon as I started recording, it suddenly began working. But the problem is still there. It's especially noticeable on flat surfaces, where bopping should work the best, and it barely works at all. Yesterday's update also caused a major in-game issue, and while the devs list it as a rare case in the patch notes, it was happening very frequently. Here are just a few examples of the bomb teleporting randomly. When you drop the bomb, instead of landing where you threw it, it would teleport to a random location, sometimes under the map, sometimes above the textures. In some cases, the bomb couldn't be picked up at all. Here's how it looked on the radar during one of these bomb teleports. Along with that, a ton of skins were broken in yesterday's update, including the AWP. The first post I stumbled upon was from Tour, who said his Asimov skin was completely broken, and he wasn't the only one. Tons of people reported similar issues with their skins. A bug with the music kits was also fixed. There are a few other small bug fixes in the changelog. But let's move on to the more interesting stuff. For example, yesterday's AnimGraph 2 update actually brought a few good things. Before, hitting an enemy would trigger weird head shaking effects. Just look at how that used to look. Clearly an animation bug. It seems that the major update did some good, because now the head shakes far less when hitting an enemy, and the feedback feels much more responsive and readable. But despite that, after today's update, we can now clearly see how the character model jitters when turning or moving. If you slow down the game speed significantly, it becomes very visible how the model twitches during movement. Visually, you'll notice this best at around 50% speed. Take a look, and the model is jittering noticeably. Before yesterday's update, this problem didn't exist at all. Yesterday's big update also introduced a new character physics system. Check out how the character ragdolls and physics looked before the patch, and how much better the ragdolls were back in Global Offensive. In CS2 they always looked like wooden mannequins, but now with the new update the ragdolls feel a bit closer to the ones from CSGO, at least now they exist, although sometimes this leads to weird results like this. And when I said yesterday that Valve broke the game, some people didn't get what I meant, but I was also talking about Linux players, and there are quite a few of them, especially on the Steam Deck. For Linux users, CS2 either wouldn't launch at all or the player models were missing. In one example, the AK-47 didn't even have arms. As you know, yesterday's patch also brought a number of map changes. On train, for example, some new climbable containers were added. One of them even slightly narrows the passageway. Plus, there's now a really nice pop flash you can throw. Stand right in this corner, aim at this pixel and do a jump throw with right click. It pops perfectly, giving the enemy minimal time to react. And of course, let's not forget about the hidden files. I didn't cover all of them in the last video, so let's go over what was added today. The devs added a new console command that lets you independently adjust your Y-axis mouse sensitivity. They also added new hidden files related to a map called Ancient Night. This appears to be a new version of Ancient, and apparently it's going to have rain. The map files were found in the CS2 game files, so no one knows when it'll release, but hopefully soon. It looks like Valve plans to use it for upcoming missions. On top of that, Gabe also previously mentioned hidden files related to a remake of Cobblestone, which we heard about last year. Now, new snow particle effects have been found in the files, labeled as part of the Cobblestone map, so we're likely getting a winter version of Cobblestone 2, sooner or later. Also spotted were references to a map named the CS2. What's strange here is that this is a second version of cache bought, but the CS2 uses something called smart props, which FMPwn did not use in his version, meaning that Valve is working on their own official remake of cache. That's likely why we still haven't seen it released yet. That's all the news for today. Thanks for watching the video until the end. I've been Ravil, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, good luck everyone, take care and see you in the next damn video.